Okay, so today we are going to be taping a foot. So I'm teaching you how to tape your own foot for supporting the arch in situations like plantar fasciitis or some other foot pain issues. Some things that are helpful are some sort of spray adhesive. So QDA is one of them that's pretty widely available. And then this is another one, Pre-Tape Toughener by Miller. Both of those help, especially when you're taping the feet, because the feet tend to get sweaty and the tape doesn't last as long. The other tape is this Cover Roll Stretch, which is this white tape. We use that as our base layer. And then the last one is this Leuko tape. And that is this brown tape. And this is more rigid, and this is what provides the support to the arch taping. So what we start with is we're first going to start with the spray adhesive. And I would recommend just making sure if there's any overspray that it doesn't get on anything that's important. So if I'm taping my right foot, this is probably the best position with my leg crossed over. And then I'm just going to spray the inside part of my foot and then the outside part of my foot. You don't have to spray the whole bottom or the whole top. So spray, and then I'm going to spray don't spray your face, underside like that as well. You could also go like that and do that. And then get a towel, just kind of pat it dry until it gets nice and tacky. And then I typically will fan it a little bit as well, like that. And then what we do is we do the white tape. So this is that Cover Roll Stretch. You want to measure that from the base of your pinky toe, like right here. And then you're going to anchor it there. And then you're going to wrap it around the inside part of your foot and then to the base of your big toe. So it doesn't actually go onto the toe. So do that first and then take it off. It might be a little tacky. There we go. And then you can cut right at that spot. And there's lines on here already, which is helpful. So there. And then what you do is you're taking the backing, taking that off, and then you're trying not to get it to curl over on itself. You're going to start on the outside part. This part is just protecting your foot. The other tape is pretty strong adhesive. You don't want it to be irritating at all. So starting on the outside of my foot and then coming up around the inside arch of my foot, just like that. And then I just get that anchor. I don't have to pull or put any tension through the system with this. It's just supporting the arch of my foot. Then from there, I'm going to do an identical strip of this brown Leuko tape. And same thing, you're going to measure that. So you could do this ahead of time too and cut it. Makes it a little bit easier. But just have it be a little bit shorter than the white tape. So this brown stuff, it can go on your skin, but sometimes it can be a little bit more irritating if it does go on your skin. So I tend to make it just a little bit shorter. That you can tear or cut. Now when you do this, you want to give a little bit of tension. Same thing, you're going all the way out again. Base of the pinky toe, coming around here. Now when you get to the heel, you want to provide a little bit more tension because you're trying to lock up the heel a bit and you're trying to support the arch. So from here, you want to pull up. I'm holding my ankle. I don't want to pull my ankle and foot all the way in. So I want my ankle to stay pretty much stable like that and then pull this over and across. And I could have made that piece a little bit longer, but this should work fine as well. You can always put another piece of tape on there too if you want a little bit short. So then anchor that in there. And then what you're going to do is put 3 strips of this brown tape, starting on the outside part of your foot and pulling up to support the arch. So you're going to anchor on the outside part of the foot and then pull up and in, and then have it come just a little bit overlapping of that white tape. And then each strip that you put down is going to overlap the previous piece of tape by about a half. So I anchor that down, and then I'm pulling over and across, so I'm getting some good tension through that, so that you can see the wrinkles in the tape that I gave some decent tension through there. And then another one, anchor over there. See how it's overlapping the previous piece of tape by about a half. So like that. And like I said, all of this you can have pre-cut and ready to go if helpful for you. So anchor there. Hold my ankle so I don't pull too far. Nice tension through the arch. And then I'm gonna do one more. I don't wanna tape all the way down to the balls of the foot, and I don't wanna tape all the way over the heel, just kind of the middle part of the foot. It's gonna vary a bit depending on the size of your foot, but usually 3 strips is about right. And then last one. Anchor on the outside. And then pulling up and across, just like that. So typically this tape will last for 2 or 3 days, sometimes 4 depending. You can wear it in the shower, you can just kind of pat dry after. It will start pulling up at the edges, that's okay. But then I would, give yourself maybe half a day in between taping to let the skin breathe and give it a break before you retape it. And then depending on whatever your healthcare practitioner or PT tells you as far as like keeping it taped or whatever they want you to do. If it starts irritating your skin, anything like that, itching, just take it off. Don't rip it off like a Band-Aid because it's pretty strong tape. You want to kind of gently push the skin away from the tape when you do take it off, and take it off after it's been like, you've been in the shower, it's been wet, it'll come off much easier. So that's how you support the arch of your foot. Thanks.